As dividend investors, a lot of us love higher yielding stocks because the potential for massive income generation basically from day one. But because not all high yielding stocks are created equal, there are definitely some worth buying and definitely some worth running away from. But in this video specifically, we're going to go through 5 of my absolute favorite higher yielding dividend stocks. So if you want to dig into these 5 stocks with me, make sure to drop a like down below, stick around, and let's get right into the first one. Real quick, for those that haven't already, make sure to go to the first link in my description and grab my new dividend investing ebook, where I share exactly how I went from $0 invested to now earning over $6,000 on a monthly basis and over $1 million invested in the markets. Along with the ebook, you're also going to receive my custom dividend tracker, where you can track your dividend progress on an ongoing basis and reach your dividend investing goals. So make sure to grab yourself a copy of my dividend investing ebook and the new dividend tracker today. It's the first link in my description. So the first high yielding single stock that is one of my favorites, I've held onto this one for several years now, and it has been nothing but amazing. Is ticker symbol EPD, or Enterprise Product Partners. Now, Enterprise Product Partners is in the energy, oil and gas storage transportation space. So if you find your portfolio may be lacking some exposure to that area, first off, without a doubt, look into EPD. But Enterprise Products is basically a textbook perfect option for a single stock that offers a massive starting yield, because it doesn't only offer a 7.27% forward yield, which is actually down significantly because of how much this stock has grown over the last few weeks. But also EPD offers a safe dividend, 65 in the safety score, dividend growth rate around 5%, which is not bad whatsoever, a very low beta, so it's not going to whipsaw your portfolio around, and a very consistent quarterly paid dividend that's been growing for the last 25 years, but also has been paid out consecutively for the last 25 years without a reduction. Now, the one bad thing about EPD, I will say, the taxation is a K1, so come tax time, this is going to get a little bit confusing, but I've owned EPD for years now and haven't had too many problems with it. Over the long term, EPD has been great for my long-term portfolio. It's grown significantly in price with no signs of stopping, has paid massive juicy dividends over the years. EPD is definitely one to look into. The next high yielding dividend stock that I cannot get enough of, and I wish I would have bought a lot more when it was a bit cheaper, is Main Street Capital, or ticker symbol MAN. Now, Main Street Capital is a business development company that primarily provides debt and equity capital to relatively small, higher levered companies that otherwise sometimes can't raise debt. Main Street Capital has performed amazing over the last 10 years. I've owned Main in my portfolios for the last 5 or so years. And believe it or not, Main Street Capital's 6.16% forward yield is not all that large, considering when I started buying Main a few years back, I think I was getting like a starting yield of 8+%. Now, Main Street Capital's dividend is relatively safe as a 62 on the safety score. Main Street Capital doesn't have the biggest dividend growth historically at around 2 to 4%. But the special thing about Main Street Capital is exactly this, the special payouts. Main Street Capital, on top of the dividends that are paid to investors on a monthly basis, has also offered massive special dividends, which has been a massive bonus for owning hundreds of shares of Main that I currently own across my portfolios. Now, even though Main's traded the way that it has over the past few years, I still think that with rates being the way that they are, there could be the potential for Main Street Capital to trade above $50 per share in the up and coming year. Definitely add Main Street Capital to your watch list. This is without a doubt a buy and hold forever for me. Another high yielder that's definitely also a buy and hold forever is ticker symbol O, or Realty Income. Now, across all my portfolios as of right now, I'm very close to 2,900 shares of Realty Income, which I've been gathering for several years now. And with the way that interest rates are at currently, Realty Income, along with all the REITs basically, more or less, are feeling the pain, which is allowing a potential massive buying opportunity. With Realty Income trading in the $50 range, we're seeing a 6% forward yield off the bat. Now, when I started buying Realty Income back in the day, I was getting like a starting yield of 3.9, 4.5%, which even back then I was thrilled with. But although Realty Income hasn't grown substantially since I've owned it, I've been able to have a very sleep well night single dividend stock in my portfolio with around 3 to 5% dividend growth per year, not all that bad. Now, Realty Income's offered 29 years of consecutive increases for dividends, 55 years of dividends with an uninterrupted streak. Now, on top of that, I personally think, of course I could be wrong, but I think that if and when interest rates are cut later this year or even early next year, I think Realty Income, along with all the REITs, are going to soar. Now, only time will tell, but Realty Income as a single dividend stock is a buy and hold forever position in my portfolio. Now, the next higher yield buy and hold forever position is going to actually be an ETF, the JP Morgan Nasdaq Equity Premium Income ETF, or ticker symbol JEPQ. Now, JEPQ is what I would consider one of the best high quality premium income focused covered call style ETFs across the entire market. I've been buying shares of JEPQ for several years now, and without a doubt, JEPQ will remain in my portfolio, honestly, forever at this point. The last and final high yielding stock that will remain in my portfolio forever that I've owned now for several years is EXR, or extra storage space. Now, I first bought EXR years ago because I wanted to have exposure to not only REITs, but I thought the self-storage space was offering a massive opportunity. When you dig into some of the financials of either EXR or Public Storage, it's very, very impressive. Now, EXR is a little bit higher beta, so it is going to move around the portfolio a little bit more than some of you might like. But with a starting yield of 4.76%, a very safe dividend which will allow you to sleep well at night, and dividend growth which has been substantial, we're talking 8%, 14%, and even 16% dividend growth rate over the last 10 or so years. EXR is not only due for a dividend increase come next quarter, which I'm hoping a massive one, but also EXR has historically paid things like special dividends, has grown substantially over certain time frames, but where EXR is currently trading as of right now, it is offering a potential buying opportunity because as you can see right here, the 5-year average dividend yield is way higher than it normally is. So definitely add EXR to your watch list if you want some exposure to self-storage. It's one of the best in the game. So there we have it. Those are 5 different buy and hold forever positions that all offer a higher than normal starting dividend yield. Now, throughout my long-term portfolio, there are going to be certain positions in here that I would consider buy and hold forever. Things like my shares of Realty Income, and then there's things in this portfolio that I'm not necessarily as big of a fan of. Things like OHI or Mega Healthcare, for example, or even ticker symbol MO All Tree Group, which I'm sort of indifferent about. But that's the cool thing about building out a long-term dividend growth portfolio is that you can buy into positions, and even if you like it today, you don't necessarily have to get married to it. You could always trade it out for something different down the road. But in the talks of buy and hold forever, higher yielding stocks and or ETFs, now I want to hear from you guys down below. What are your top 3 of all time ticker symbols for higher yielding positions across your portfolio that you're looking to potentially buy and hold forever? Drop them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like on it and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.